Oh. ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। Last week we were seeing Shloka number 31 in chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. Nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava nacha shreyo nupashyami hatva swajanamahave. Arjuna is speaking, and now we see his mind is just purging out all different types of thoughts. And as he's purging out all his thoughts in front of Bhagavan Krishna, he's expecting Bhagavan to reciprocate with either a validation of a smile, a gesture, or even words. But Arjuna doesn't see any reaction from Bhagavan Krishna, and hoping to see some type of validation, he continues hoping that Bhagavan will reciprocate. So we see he continues and he says over here, O Bhagavan, nimittani cha pashyami viparitani keshava. O Bhagavan, I see all different types of ill omens around. Nacha shreyo anupashyami hatva swajanamahave. I do not see anything good coming out of killing these all these kingsmen in this battle. That I don't see anything good coming out of this. Anyway, killing as it is nothing's good's going to come out of it to begin with. But over here, he is just purging out all these thoughts. There is nothing good about killing. But for Arjuna, this war is something which is a right. This war is something which is very important. It is a righteous war that they have actually earned, if you can. And the reason is because they have done all that is required to avoid it. But it is unavoidable. It is inevitable. That means it is as though that the dharma of Kshatriya has arrived knocking on the door to fight this war. And because of that, we may consider this war to be a righteous war because they have done all that they can to avoid it. So when he says Nacha Shreyo Pashyami, I mean, overall, yes, nothing good comes out of it. But at the same time, over here, even if nothing good comes out, the good over here is putting an end to evil, putting an end to suffering of people, putting an end to all types of unrighteousness. And because that is so important, over here it is as though that war is necessary. So we may also deliberate in our life that what good is going to come out of this action. So we have to think about not just the benefits that are there in store for us, but does it benefit the family, the society, the nation at large? And if I have been summoned to stand up for the society, then I must. And thus, these words over here of Arjuna, even though it is coming out of some type of despondency, yet over here, we also in our life should not back out from our duty. Sometimes the gravity of the action allows us to circumvent our own duty, and that should not happen. That is the message to be taken from all these upcoming shlokas. Continuing, Nakankshe Vijayam Krishna Nacharadyam Sukhani Cha Kim no Rajyena Govinda Kim Bhogair Jivitena Va. Something really interesting is going on in all these shlokas over here. And Arjuna uses different names of Bhagavan Krishna. It is a thing to be noted. In the last shloka, he talked about, in the last shloka number 31, he addresses Bhagavan Krishna as Keshava. Kesh is none other than our hair. Keshava, the one who has beautiful hair. So, putting some thoughts together, because Vedvyas Maharshi Ji, who is the author behind Bhagavad Gita, one is the literal meaning of Bhagavad Gita, the other one is implied meaning of Bhagavad Gita, and some, contemplative. And in contemplation, so many things come out. Why does he use the word Keshava? So, and especially in this time, why does he use these words of Keshava coming out of the mouth of Arjuna? Arjuna is going through mental despondency, and he is not sure about where he wants to go, and he just wants to actually circumvent the war. He doesn't want this war, and he's giving reasons. Now, I just mentioned that it is dharma of a kshatriya, and even in life, when difficult actions come in front of us, our dharma sankat is we want to avoid difficult situations. It may be with people at company, situations in family. So sometimes people just don't speak, they don't talk, and years and decades will go just because they don't want to face an ugly situation. So over here, Kesha, hair is beauty. So over here, beauty is in the art in which we live our life. And our life is lived at the level of action. What we say, what we don't say, what we choose not to say, all these things add to karma. And that is the beauty in living life. At all levels, it has to contribute to a beauty in living. So Keshava word is used. Now over here, continuing in this shloka number 32, na kangshe vijayam Krishna, na cha rajyam sukhani cha, kim no rajyena govinda, kim bhogeir jivitena va. He uses the word Krishna and he uses the word Govinda. Let us see the shloka and then we will see this. So, hey Krishna, na kangshe vijayam. Oh Lord Krishna, I do not desire any type of victory. There's a Kshatriya saying, his entire life he has been such a great warrior and he wants to do his job properly, and now all of a sudden he's saying, I desire no victory. Nacharajyam sukhanicha, and O Krishna, nor do I desire the kingdoms. Kim no rajyena govinda. Over here he's saying, hey Govinda, Kim naharajyena. And over here, what avail is the domain over this entire kingdom? Rajyena bhogaihi jivitena va. What are we going to do? Victory over all these things. Of what avail is the domain to us, O Govinda? Of what avail are pleasures or even life itself, getting into war and all this? I desire no victory, I desire no kingdom, nor any pleasures. So over here he's saying, na kangshe vijayam, hey Krishna, I desire no victory. Nacha rajyam sukhani cha, I desire no joy of kingdom, I desire no kingdom, nor pleasures. Sukham, I desire not. Nacha rajyena govindam kim bhogaihi jivitena va. If I don't desire, for what are all these things, kingdom and life and all these things? Again, look at the mind. Look at the mind in which it behaves. Whenever we meet walls in our life, we will be known only for what actions we have done. Each one of us. And forget about what others are going to say in terms of eulogy when we lie in state. But where will our actions take us in the next birth? Our actions are all we take with us into our sleep. And that's all. We are known for our actions. So, yeah, we can walk away from some situations just because they were difficult. But had we faced them, what will happen? This is where we need to deliberate upon duty. And duty is what is due to the other. Duty is never what is due to me. The outcome of that will determine what is due to me. But first and foremost, duty is what is due to the other. Motherhood is only when what is due to the child. Fatherhood is only when what is due to the child. A husband or a wife a dharma of a husband, a dharma of a wife, a dharma of a mother, a dharma of a father, a dharma of a son, a dharma of a daughter. All this, a daughter, that means what is due to the mother and the father. Son, what is due to the mother and the father. This is how a duty is determined. So Arjuna has a sense of dharma, duty towards his own family, but then he's the prince. What is due to the kingdom, which is big? He cannot let people suffer. And he's talking about his own joys. Sukhena, Rajyam, Jaya, Vijayam. But what is at stake? The stake is people are suffering. And he is anointed to put the suffering to an end. At least he should give his best shot. He may not be victorious, and that's okay. Everything does not have to result in victory. If duty is performed, if duty is addressed, then the attending to duty itself is the greatest victory. In the worldly loss, there is a spiritual gain. And the spiritual gain is I put an end to future suffering. But if we circumvent our actions and we think that I have avoided it, we've only shoved it underneath the rug because we have not addressed our destiny. Our duty and destiny are intertwined. 99.9% of the stuff that we do, we will not find it enjoyable. But that's why we have come over here. Bhagavan, in later chapters, he will say, Anityam asukham imam lokam prapya bhajasvama. Having come into this anityam, ephemeral, asukham, devoid of joy, imam lokam prapya, having attained. Why having attained? Because I am talking, we are talking. You are listening, I am talking. I have my duty, you have your duty. We all have our duties. Then Bhagavan says, Bhajasvamam, worship me. Bhajasvamam. What is Bhajasvamam? Tend to your duty. Worship me by your actions. This is important. And that is the word in the first line of Bhagavan, Krishna, Akarshana Shakti. It should attract us. What should attract us? Our duty should attract us. Duty will pull us. Dharma will pull us. We may not like it, but we are going to have to go towards it. That is the word. That is the word over here used for Bhagavan Krishna. Krishna. Kim Kangshe Vijayam Krishna. We think we are working for victory, for joy, for happiness. It is a pull of dharma. It is a pull of duty. Kimno rajyena govindam Are, are we conquering this Rajya for something? Kim bhogai jivitena va. Of what avail is the domain over this entire kingdom, O Govinda? Of what avail are pleasures or even life itself? And the word used over here is Govinda. Gonam Vindati. The one who has conquered the senses is Govinda. Another word of Govinda is Go also means Shastra. Vedas are called Go. Vinda, the ones who have conquered, the ones who protect the Vedas. That is Govinda. How do we protect the Vedas? By exactly doing what they tell us to do. What do they tell us to do? 99.99% of the Veda is Karmakand, that you address your duty. After that, knowledge. Dwell in the knowledge which is born from the purity of mind and intellect resulting from doing the right duty. So, this Rajya, the kingdom is conquering the kingdom of the mind. And we think we are conquering some little land outside. We are conquering a person on the outside. We are conquering some situation. Actual conquering is we conquer our senses, then we conquer our mind, which is the sixth sense, and then we establish in the wisdom of Veda that is called Govinda, victorious over Vedas. That is the domain to be conquered over here. Kim bhogaihi, with all the joys, jivitenava, pleasures, bhogaihi, all the pleasures, or even life. Well, the purpose of life is to evolve. We've come over here to evolve for nothing else. Each one of us have come over here to evolve and evolve. Continuing, Yesham arthe kankshitam no rajyam bhoga sukhani cha ta imeva sthita yuddhe pranam styaktva dhanani cha. He says, Yesham kankshitam naha Rajyam bhogaha sukhanicha. He's just continuing the same ideas that for whose sake do we desire these kingdoms? Yesham arthe, for whose purpose, for whose sake? Kankshitam, desire, naha, this ours, by us, rajyam bhogaha sukhanicha. For whom is this kingdom? Rajyam, bhogaha, all the joys. Sukhanicha, and all the joys. What is it for? Bhog. So, all the joys and enjoyments and the kingdom, for whose sake, O Bhagavan, we are doing. Ta ime avastita yuddhe, and for all these things, having renounced ta ime avastita yuddhe pranam styaktva dhananicha. Over here, pranam styaktva, ready to give up this life itself. Wealth, giving up the life, the wealth. Ta ime avastita yuddhe. In these conditions, we have come over here and stand in this battlefield. For what? For whose sake we are doing all these things? All of a sudden, Arjuna is becoming so philosophical. But doesn't realize for the sake of dharma, for whose sake? The sake of dharma, what else? That is why we've attained these worlds so that we can perfect living. Acharya pitaraः putraः tathaiva cha pitamahaः matula shvashuraः pautraः shyala sambandinastatha etan nahantumicchami gnatopi madhusudana api trailokyasya rajyasya api trailokyarajyasya heto kim nu mahi krute. So he's saying Acharya, all these teachers, Pitaraha, all these fathers, Putraha, all the sons, Tatha Pitamaha, and the grandfathers, and Matulaha, maternal uncles, Swashuraha, all the father-in-laws, Pautraha, grandsons, great grandsons, Prautraha, all of those, Shyalaha, the in-laws, and Sambandhinas Tatha, all different types of relatives over here. Hey Madhusudana, etan na hantum ichchami. I do not want to hurt any of all of these that he has enumerated. Etan na hantum ichchami. Gnyato api. Hey Madhusudana, even though they hurt me, I don't want to hurt them. Api trailokyasya rajyasya hetoho api kim nu mahi krute. Even for the sake of the domain of the three worlds, trailokyasya rajyasya, then even for the higher worlds, I choose not to get into this type of situation of killing all these people, even though they hurt me. Then what? For the sake of some 5 villages, for the sake of some one home, that little piece of land, I will get into such a vast yuddha. So again, the 5 villages. 5 homes. Okay, not 5 villages. Okay, not 5 homes. Okay, 1 home. See, all that was only for the Panch Pandavas. But who are they? They are Kshatriyas. They are born to do what? Protect the kingdom. And Bhagavan sees the bigger picture. Arjuna is seeing the smaller picture. And from the standpoint of the large picture, Lord over here, Bhagavan, he's addressed as Madhusudana. Madhusudana, Madhu and Kaitap, they are the demons born out of the ears of Mahavishnu. And he is responsible for vanquishing them. Madhu is what we like to hear. Raga and Dvesha are known as Madhu and Kaita. Our likes and dislikes. It starts from what we hear. And in Bhagavan, there is no likes and dislikes. The reason this name is used over here for Bhagavan again is our actions are based upon likes and dislikes. And here, Madhusudana, he has killed his likes. He has affinity, liking for all these acharyas, Pitara, Putran, Pautrans, Tatha Pitamaha, Matula, Swasura, Pautraha. If we keep the relations, then Madhu is very much alive, likes. Each place, the word used for Bhagavan Krishna is so unique. This is the beauty behind Vedvyas Maharshi Ji authoring a fantastic piece of literature which uplifts us in our living. So, over here, all these people he has enumerated, there's raga towards them. And that raga is referred to as madhu, like. And thus the word is madhusudana. When we do our actions, we also have to have utmost vigilance. Is this action born out of likes and dislikes? Is there an ulterior motive that I seek, or is it purely out of duty? This is what is shared over here, and Bhagavan Krishna is silent. He doesn't say a word. Arjuna is looking for approval from Bhagavan. Not in a gesture, not in a look, not in words. Typically, if we are rambling in front of someone, we'll be able to figure out from their facial expressions, their bodily language, as to where they stand with what we are seeing. Are they crossing their hands and standing? Are they looking with pity? Are they looking at the sky above? Are they looking at the watch? We can figure out. And Bhagavan is silent. Looking at him, but with no gestures or expressions, no words. This makes Arjuna even more nervous and speak even more. So, Nihatya dharta rashtrannah ka priti syarjanardana papamevashraye dasmat hatvaitanatatayinah. So, He Janardana, another word for Bhagavan Krishna, Janardana. He Janardana, Dhartarashtrannah Nihatya Kapriti. O Bhagavan, killing these sons of Dhritarashtra, Dhartarashtrannah Nihatya, killing them, Kapritihi. What pleasures do we get out of slaying, O Janardana? Papameva. Over here, Papameva ashrayet. We will only gain sin. Papameva ashrayet asman. To us, we will only incur sin. And then over here, he says, Hatva etan atatayinah. Having killed these atatayinah. Now, Arjuna must have read some Dharma Shastra to come up with this word. Atatayinah. Atatayinah, over here, Gurudev translates as felon or the evildoers. And 6 different reasons are given to a person who is atatayinah. And Manusmruti and Vashishta Smriti are indicated over here as atatayinah. So, if somebody does one of these 6 things, they are considered to be a felon. If they set the house, if they set somebody's house on fire, check, it is done. They tried to burn them alive in the house of lac, so they qualify for that. Poison someone, they poisoned Bhima and threw him in the river, so that is also a check. With sword in hand, fall upon him to kill and murder. Many times they have tried to kill the Pandavas. Then steal his wealth, unrighteously playing the game of dice and stealing away everything in Indraprastha and all jewels and everything. Land, kingdom. They gave that land Khandava Prastha and then took away. When the Khandava Prastha was turned into Indraprastha, took away. And his wife, oh ho ho, final insult in the game of dice, Draupadi Vastraharanam. Even she was made. Ahahaha. Dasi. What to talk of these people? Will these people rule the kingdom justly if they are capable of doing these 6 things within the family? If the daughter-in-law of the home itself has been insulted, you think these people will take care of somebody else's daughter-in-law in the kingdom? Thus the word atatayinaha is used over here, and Arjuna is using the word janardana. So the word janardana is such a beautiful word. Over here, Gurudev translates that as the one who is the destroyer of an asura called Jana. There's yet another beautiful meaning of the word Janardana. Janayati maya iti jan tam ardayati iti janardana. The one who creates maya is Bhagavan. But when that maya creates all different types of problems for the devotee, that same Bhagavan uplifts the devotee from maya. Tam ardayati. He destroys that maya and rescues that person. That is Janardana. The one who is capable of rescuing someone, giving shelter to someone. And over here, Arjuna is saying, Nihatya dharta rashtranaha kapriti syad Janardana. What joy will we get out of killing the children of Dhritarashtra? Well, they are destroying so many people's lives. Janardana is the one who comforts someone by removing pain and sorrow. So he's supposed to rescue the kingdom from these evildoers. And papameva shrayed asmat. We will not get any papa. And even if we do get papa, it's better to get some papa karma than make somebody else suffer. We've taken away somebody else's pain. And for that, Yama will always look at that person with great love and compassion. So, very, very beautifully over here is talked about, these names of Bhagavan Krishna used throughout these shlokas by Ved Vyas Maharshi ji gives us a window into how we should uh, how we should contemplate, think. Each and every single shloka, Arjuna uses a different name of Bhagavan Krishna. When we contemplate, we realize the answer is in the name of the Lord. It time and again, just like a compass always faces north, in the same way, through the name, it shows us the solution facing in the direction of dharma. Overall, Pandavas have lived a life of dharma. Thus, Bhagavan stands on his chariot and he has a privilege to speak these words to Krishna. That privilege he has earned. And now, when he breaks down in front of this majestic personality of Parthasarathi, he is silently listening. He's going to roar back 17 chapters to wake up Arjuna. These shlokas, go back and contemplate upon it, utilizing your tough situations in your own life, in our lives. This is where we can learn to make better judgment call, better call for an action which lies ahead of us. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.